Hey, I'm Jeff Rosenstock, and this is a KCR secret session. Ooh, I loved video games growing up. I was a big Nintendo person. I used to take graph paper and design my own Super Mario Brothers levels and my own Mega Man levels, to the extent that Mega Man had a contest through Nintendo Power where you could draw your own Mega Man boss, and I drew my own Mega Man boss, Magnet Man, who ended up in Mega Man 3 looking exactly the fucking same, and I got no credit at all. I don't know if my mom sent it in or what, but never drew again. That was it. That was the end of the line for drawing for me. Any advice I would give to other anybody doing it themselves is just do it. It's just it's weird, with DIY stuff and me, it was just all if you're having fun with your friends and you like making music, do it. And if something seems too hard to do, or if something seems everybody's telling you it's a bad idea, just try it anyway. And as long as you're having fun and you're doing, I just think, have a good time with it and treat everybody well, and try and try and get stuff going in your local scene, and just book some shows, have some all ages shows, help bands coming through town, go to other towns, and kind of snowballs from there when you try and just have a nice time with other people who are just trying to make some music and get away from the bleak fucking world that we live in, The best part of being a producer for other bands, for me, is that I don't have to sing. So then, the hardest thing that I have to do is, or not the hardest thing, but the thing that, you wake up in the morning and your voice doesn't work, you have to record a record, you're just oh shit. So not having that in there is pretty sick. It's also just fun to work with other people. It's fun when it's, not your song, and you could just kind of, come in and, I don't know, I have the kind of brain where, I even especially with my own songs, where when I finish them, I'm okay, now what's fucked up here? What is not good here? Why is the song not working? And to just kind of have that be the thing. And I've always done it with cool, fun bands that I'm friends with. It's just kind of it's just fun. It's nice to be there, to be the person who's looking out for the record. You know what I mean? Because I think you need somebody kind of unbiased to do that sometimes. Just be nah, trust me, man, it'll be sick if you do this thing, Do I see the ska punk genre changing anytime soon? I'd like to see more ska punk bands, I think there's just so much of it in the 90s that everybody got sick of it until this day, which is just a shame, because I think it's fun. There's no better band to start if you're a high school band geek than a ska band, because you already got buddies who play horns and stuff like that, and you got nothing to do with that. It's just I don't know. I hope there's more ska bands. Ska punk is a traditionally political music, and it seems like a good time for it, I'd take another Operation Ivy or another Specials right about now. Do I believe in any known conspiracy theories? I have aliens I don't think is a conspiracy theory. I think it's a conspiracy theory to assume that there are no other forms of life anywhere in the fucking universe. Doesn't that seem crazier than that, that there are? I feel of course there are, So yeah, if aliens are a conspiracy theory, yeah, I never got abducted like Tom DeLonge or anything like that. Shout out to Tom DeLonge. I believe you, but it never happened to me. The bass amp broke at that show, and she said, "Watch out for the low end." So I don't know if that's it coming true or not. Yeah, that's the one that I was most concerned about, and she didn't give me any information about Bitcoin, which was the other stuff I was hoping for. fucking asked me to compose music for a cartoon show. So I was just like, yes, of course. It's like, I don't know. I love writing music. It's a really great show. Like, I think that's kind of a dream for me, is to write music to like score stuff, to score films that I've always kind of like tried to do it. I've gotten like little bits and pieces there, and then when I got that, it's just like kind of this really amazing blank canvas where I could like just kind of try and build a world in 11 minutes, and the directors are really cool, and everybody working on it's really cool. They're really supportive, and it's just kind of like, yeah, it's a dream job. I couldn't say, yeah, it's not. Wait till you see this season. It's good. It's awesome. I'm stoked on it. It's a job. I'm a musician, and I have a job making music. There's like 12 of those, so I feel lucky to have one of the 12. You know. Yeah, I hope so. In Antarctica Vespucci, like, we're like 95% done with recording a new record. I just got to put keyboards down, which I'm doing on this tour, and then I got to mix it, and then it should be coming out this summer. So after that, hopefully we'll be able to do some stuff. It's really strange because now I have like the Cartoon Network schedule to kind of like I'm always working. So we got to do like these short little chunks of tour, but in Antarctica Vespucci, like, for sure, like we're stoked. We're ready to come back, you know? I think I really like the Blast Damage Days video. Like, the Blast Damage Days video and the Nausea video are really cool. I love the way the Nausea video turned out, but I think the You in Weird Cities video, if I'm thinking about it, because whenever I watch that video, I get to think about me and John. Like, every time I see that video and I see Tim get on the Staten Island ferry like 30 seconds before the ferry left for our first show of the 5 shows that we were doing in one day, and I think about that Tim might have just missed that show, the whole thing might have just got completely fucked. Like, it's fun watching that one because it's just like, oh man, that day was insane, you know? When making new music, artists I look for inspiration, I think it always changes for me. I just try and listen to a lot of music. I like, I'm lucky, I think. I'm friends with a lot of people who I think are always making really special stuff. Like, I think AJJ, Laura Stevenson, The Sidekicks, there's a million other bands, but like they're all like consistently putting out like different sounding records that are really cool, that I really like. And you know, I think a lot of the bands in our little world, you know, like whether they get big or they don't get big or anything like that, like I feel like our little world has always been about like a bunch of punks who have a really hard time making just punk music, you know? So I think just being part of like a bunch of friends who kind of feel the same about that, like a lot of punk heart, but still just kind of like, I don't know, man, I want to write some weird synthy shit, or like I want to do a just acoustic song, or like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of stuff that when I see my buddies doing it, it kind of like, oh shit, they did that. They did a fucking sick job doing it. Like, all right, I'm going to keep trying, pushing and doing weird stuff too, you know? Cool. Yeah. Thanks.